Is it allowed for women to stay in girls' hostels away from her city and family without a mahram for dini or dunyawi education? And the answer is no, it is not allowed. It is not allowed for a woman to leave the custody of her father or her husband and go and live on her own in girls' hostels away from her city, except in a situation where the madrasa or the university that she is going to is a Jamia Islamia, where there is protection, and they are upon the Sunnah, they are upon Salafiyah, and therefore all of the ladies and all, like you would find for example in Saudi Arabia, for example in the Jami'at in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, then the scholars have given fatwa that this is allowed in that situation. As for these girls' hostels, then no. Why? Because these are places where girls just gather and there's no, there is no one who is over them, responsible for them, telling them who they can speak to, when they can leave, when they can come back. So when this kind of situation arises and it is not an Islamic university, and I'm not talking about these Jami'at of Ahlul Bid'ah, don't send your children to these universities and colleges of the people of Bid'ah. Send them, if you need to send your daughter, like for example in one of the universities in Mecca or in Medina or in Riyadh for example. And these are universities and institutions where everyone is learning the Sharia. It is completely segregated, so there are no men anyway, because the whole Jamia is for women. Then in that situation, possibly, if she is mature enough and she can look after herself. But in most cases, even in Saudi Arabia, they ask that you have a mahram with you, that stays with you through the whole period. So maybe they're working, the man is working or something like this, and you are your brother for example, or your father or your husband, and you are studying in the Jamia. As for a general rule, then this is not allowed. Why? Because shaitan, if a woman is on her own, then it is possible for two reasons. Number one, it is easier for people to harass them and to abuse them and to sexually abuse them or to groom them and to exploit them, and before you know it, you've lost your daughter. Second reason is because shaitan may come to her and she herself may be prone to temptations. So therefore, and there's the issue of course, as we mentioned earlier, safety. So no, as a general rule, it shouldn't be done. So the situation has to be very, very defined. Generally speaking, my advice to the brothers is, when parents and fathers and mothers and fathers in general, do not send your daughters even to the Jami'at, even to the universities, even if they are Salafi, up until your daughter is married. That's the priority. The Messenger of Allah, the Deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he encouraged with the marriage of the shabab, that the youth, they should get married. Now that she's married, she can go with her husband wherever she wants to go and study. He can study, she can study. He can work, and then he takes her in the evening to a dars of one of the scholars. For example, if it's in Makkah or Medina or Riyadh or Samita or one of those places where they are scholars. But as for just sending them on their own, I advise you strongly against that. And in fact, in most cases, it is haram anyway. In most cases, it is haram anyway. Wallahu a'lam.